Right, and business this afternoon, President Mahama has announced Ghana will begin implementing a 3-year IMF program in January 2015 as part of economic recovery measures. The president, who was addressing a group of global investors and entrepreneurs at the 2014 UN Africa Investors Summit at the New York Stock Exchange, said that Ghana is on an economic recovery agenda. Edward Kwabi has more.
The 2014 UN Africa Investment Dialogue is targeting at boosting investor confidence on the African continent despite challenges of political instability and threats from terrorists. The dialogue brought together over 500 global investors, entrepreneurs and political leaders wishing to invest in Africa. The current chairman of ECOWAS, President Mahama, who led discussions, said the prospects of African economies remain bright despite short-term challenges. He announced Ghana, for instance, would be seeking a 3-year IMF program as part of economic recovery measures beginning January 2015.
The preliminary talks should be over by this week, 25th, and then we'll continue during the annual meetings of the World Bank and the IMF. And it's my hope that by January we should start a 3-year IMF program to try and stabilize the macroeconomic environment.
President Mahama indicated Africa has made significant strides over the last decade in terms of development.
There are very good prospects for investment in Africa, and us leaders in all our countries are doing our best to create the kind of environment that makes it, enabling for investors to want to put their money in there and be able to make a good rate of return. Let me just end up with what most investors are concerned about, and that is risks. Ghana is in West Africa, and so all the risk in respect of security, in respect of health, affect our country.
Well, experts say Africa has the potential of becoming the most preferred investment destination across the globe in the next 5 to 10 years. But how is this going to pan out with the upsurge of diseases such as Ebola on the continent? In the next 5 to 10 days, these are issues the UN will seek to ponder on. Edward Kwabi from the New York Stock Exchange here in New York.
Right, and the African Management Systems Services Company set up by the United Nations Development Program has added technical services to its humanitarian service. Now, the development is expected to provide services to small and medium-scale enterprises.
The United Nations Development Program (UNDP) instituted an African Training Management Services in 1989 to provide human capital solution in sub-Saharan Africa. This is to provide skills development and wealth creation through the private sector and commercially operated state enterprise. At a breakfast meeting in Accra, the regional manager of African Training and Management Services, Mohammed Kaim, explained the added services.
7 years ago, we decided that the way to go to Ghana is actually assist the SME sector, small and medium-sized companies, but probably don't have access to the talent and the expertise needed for them to actually expand and grow and even start up. So we shifted our focus to small and medium-sized local companies to help Ghanaian entrepreneurs.
He insisted the services were crucial as small and medium-scale businesses are struggling.
Ghana is actually a very good business environment to actually exert the skills, and it's a challenging moment for Ghana, but I think the private sector is playing an important role.
Right, and the Deputy Minister of Finance, Mona Helen Quartey, has called for tougher sanctions for companies which engage in fraudulent acts. She made the call at the 4th National Financial Literacy Week here in Accra.
The Financial Literacy Week is aimed at creating awareness and educating the entire population on making informed decisions regarding their financial resources. The Deputy Minister of Finance, Mona Quartey, cautioned Ghanaians against financial institutions which promise huge interest rates.
Some people fall prey to straight-out financial scams or frauds. Some of these offers seem too good to be true. 100% within 2 weeks. It is worthy to note that there should be a close link between levels of financial literacy among the population and successful financial regulation conducted through consumer protection issues and market processes.
The head of financial stability of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Seto Ameyao, was worried most consumers make bad decisions because they lack financial education.
Many consumers made bad decisions because they do not understand their choices or they simply do not know any better. And some unscrupulous businesses take full advantage of these consumers.
The Chief Director of the Ministry of Finance, Major Retired M.S. Tara, noted Ghana, like many other developing economies, can address poverty reduction and ensure economic transformation by ensuring the optimal use of her available financial resources.